Check, check. 1, 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second edition of the Saturday Showdown, brought to you by Ammo. Ammo, the home for your competitive gaming leagues. We have quite a bit in store for you tonight, as we have 7 teams facing off in a 3-hour showcase of their talents, putting on display 4 of their best games in those 3 hours will be put together for a finals total that will lead to their final scores. We will go into the leaderboard here. As you can see, the teams that we have and how it all shapes out. We have a split screen here just so you guys can see the beginning of it, as some teams are already kind of getting ready to go and situated.
As soon as it hits 8,
these games will not count towards their score. However, we will be able to see what they are up to all day, hopefully, and stay on tap with them. As you can see, the scoreboard, bottom left corner of your screen. Points earned. You can by winning a game, you get 25 points. Second place is 20 points. Third place, 15, and so on and so forth. Each elimination will also account for an additional point.
How are they in a game already?
As you can see here, the scores are in there as a little bit of a benefit for you guys to see what happened last week. One of those teams is missing, but I will get that situated so you can have a fresh scoreboard as we go on. As we move forward, I hope you are able to stay with us. If you have any problems with the broadcast today, please let us know in the comments. We'll be able to fix that on the fly very quickly, and we'll kind of stay with it as the day
on the stream, they got somebody in a game, but
it looks like
it's officially
8 o'clock,
so probably
guys.
just finished their game before.
Competitive play will start.
This is so messed up.
We'll go first to our defending champion here, COVID-19, who had an amazing start here as they kind of load into that first game. Hopefully we'll be able to hear them loud and clear throughout the day. Let's make sure we can get the volume up here so we can hear them loud and clear. Hopefully we have no problems on that end. If there is any issue in the audio, please, again, let us know. We will be able to fix that as quickly as possible.
With like one of the other teams? Yeah, because we all start.
And here we are, COVID-19 dropping into the first game of the day. They were the leaders of last week's tournament with 176 points, putting up not only the best 4 scores, but the best score on the day with a 52-point game. That was a 27 kill game with the win, averaging up to a 52-point victory. And hopefully you'll be able to hear the commentary as well as And as we go through this today, you will also see that the way we are keeping track of these teams and making sure that all these scores are from today, they have the gamer tag of show, symbolizing the Saturday Showdown that we are currently watching. And there you go, COVID-19 getting early kills in this competition. Not quite sure where that came from, but as that kind of goes on, you will see this team definitely had the best night by far in the previous competition. They were put on a show, putting up incredible points. you go. You can see that even the wives and significant others of these players are understanding of what is at stake here. A cash prize for the winning team. Everyone wants to be a part of that for sure. Got more and more teams getting into their games. We're going to switch quickly over to Team Pup and Suds, one of the newer teams in this competition here today. A little bit of a touch of an issue with that. Let's make sure that the audio is all handled here for this team, as it sounds like the gameplay is turned off, but I will try to make sure that gets fixed right away here. And there it is. Okay, we are all set to go there, folks. As they are already in a fight here. Bit of a touch of issue with the stream here. As Team Pup and Suds continues to move on. We'll switch over to another team, Team Ruck +1.
Yeah, no doubt.
Have a little bit of difficulty as well.
Oh, shots over here south.
Mike, I got another.
I just picked one up.
Building, making sure that everything is kosher and ready to go there.
Yeah, loot up a little bit. Try and get at least one more shield. Got one. Nice.
South gear. Yeah, I haven't. You can hear him sniping over there somewhere.
Now, Ruck is one of the other streamers in this group that actually does quite well. If you want to check his stream out, he's
I broke glass.
5:30 to 11:30.
Yes, hasn't been hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop his recon drone.
Add his
Upstairs.
content to the Saturday Showdown.
Small caliber here. Anybody need that?
Oh, hey, right here. This house right here.
Don't have a heat.
I'll see him, yeah, I'm right back.
Sniper to the left. Sniper to the left.
Oh, sniper.
Oh, he got me.
Oh, shoot. Hey,
We are
pump.
in the thick of it here, folks. Moving in around the house.
Got another one in the house?
I want to the far left.
There's one over here, super weak.
Ruxy
Behind the hay
fires
bale.
from a distance, trying to get bullets on them. Gets a headshot elimination early. Into the top window as his team surround.
Oh, he's so lit.
He's infiltrating the front door. Only trying to look up the stairs. Most
Did you
of
get him?
these teams have guys
Okay.
hiding
One
up
right,
the
one
stairs.
right.
Some flash over here.
It seems to be empty. They move back outside and they try to move on to the next house here.
Hey, you got the guy that was over here?
Over there.
Blue
Let's
team?
He ran over here.
There! I've got movement.
That guy's back behind.
Yeah, they were fighting somebody, so just be ready.
It just said team wipe.
Hear the communication. Now we'll go into
I guess the
those
team I
guys
fought
are back
earlier
there.
died in the
I'm
kill.
moving.
Hey, we're getting
Another
away
team
from
here,
what we
Team
wanted to do, though.
Send It. Team Send It also having a great last week. A few of the best games to start, but just couldn't hold on to the victory as Team COVID and Ruck +1 passed them as the day went on. It seems to be having a little bit of difficulty here picking up this stream as well. Hopefully we can fix that as the stream on their end seems to be having a little bit of difficulty. However, we get the audio back, so I know that is working. We are good to go there, folks. We're going to continue on, and we're going to go back to Team COVID-19. We're going to try to move through all these games today for you. Make sure you stay with us. If you have any questions on the scoring or anything like that, please let us know. You're going to hear throughout the day the communication between these teams differs greatly. Team Cove sometimes gets a little bit louder and a little bit more, I suppose, angsty with each other as the game goes on. Team Vienna will stay a lot more calm, a little bit easier throughout the whole day. Ruck +1 are three brothers, the Ruckman brothers, and a fourth named Glenn, who communicate as brothers do. So you will see that throughout the day, teams just staying a little bit tighter, a little bit more close-knit as they move through these towns. right, we're going to go to our last competitor here. Pre-buttered toast. One of the favorites here. As they are one of the newer competitors here with their team captain, Harry. And he's the one streaming this game as Harryman33. Again, we're going to try to fix that audio for you. Some of the things got flipped its theme.
Yeah, that's
Make sure to get that back going here for you. And there you are. Continuing on here, as they get to loot, you're going to see a lot of these teams stressing the ability to get their loadouts early in this game, trying to get themselves set with the guns they're familiar with, making sure they're in a good place to push and to be pushed as this tournament goes on. Remember, we are taking on kills as well as placement. And for every elimination, a team gets us a point. And for placement, a victory royale is an additional 25 points, second place 20. And as they go down it'll be similar scoring, lower and lower as the points go. In these first few games, you might see some pretty low scores as teams are just trying to get points on the board, as last week some teams went without a score for a very long time, and it ended up costing them as low scores were put in place. And our first score is in. Not the greatest of scores, as Team Send It has a very short first outing. However, it's the first points on the board. So they will come away with a 6-pointer to start, a few kills to go into it. Not the greatest of starts, but it's still a start nonetheless. And as this goes on, you will see those scores reflect on your screens. And there we are. As we continue here, we're going to go switch over to Cove 19, who seems to be up into a house, looking like they have enough stuff to kind of put them in a good place here. As you can see, a lot of these teams now are, you'll hear throughout the day, struggling to climb over certain things. That has been one of the major issues with Warzone, as they are still kind of in the beta testing period, as much as you want to take into effect there. Oh, you see someone running in an open area, going over the wall, running into a full team. That'll be the easiest kill they'll probably find on the day. Looks like a sniper on the roof there in the distance, as he tries to reload, get reset. He tries to get an eyes on that sniper. He sees him over in the distance. It looks like the sniper is eyeing them as well. Possibly part of the same team. That player was just a straggler off in the distance. Now, trying to crawl away, try to crawl towards his teammates, getting to a better position. And an RPG rings off right in front of him, taking one of his teammates down. And that's going to be a tough situation they're going to deal with there. Team Pup and Suds seems to still be having some technical difficulty with their stream. And there it is. That's the game that will end. And it seems like their score will not be submitted as they're going to continue to move on without it. So we're going to move on as well to Team Muffs. Moving on a roof, it seems like, trying to get a little bit of movement. Again, we're going to try and, as these go on, we're going to see a few of these streams having some technical difficulty, but we're going to get that fixed as quickly as possible. Very simple fix, so we're going to do that. You can see all these teammates now staying on top of this roof. This is a very large roof. And it seems to be just on the edge of the circle, so they're in a pretty good spot as things move on here. And one thing I am going to do for you guys is move that the ammo tag in the top right corner for you, so you guys can see how many players are left in certain situations, and so you can see where each team seems to be staying. And a player gets knocked from a distance. That's going to be a tough one to swallow there, folks. Let's see how this looks here. And so you can see more of the screens here as we continue to move on. We're going to try this out here, see how it looks. If the ammo is in a bad spot, we're just going to get rid of it. But hopefully we can keep that clan tag there and we can keep this moving smoothly. Not too bad, but we're going to try to probably get rid of that altogether so you guys can see that smoothly. It's about 13 players remaining in this circle. 13 teams, excuse me. As Muffs seems to be moving here. We're getting a res in pre-buttered toast. We're going to try to move over to them really quickly as we go into their gameplay. As you can hear, shots ringing out. Moving out into open space here, pretty far away from the circle. Looks like they could be over lumber, it looks. Or quarry, excuse me. And they're moving into quarry, as they have about 18 teams still remaining. And we're going to take one of our first looks here at Team Vienna. Team Vienna was last place finishers last week. However, looking to do much better as their team gets a little more chemistry after last week. They did put together a 30-point win, but the rest of their games were subpar to say the least. Only one of their double-digit game out of their 4, as they looked to do a little bit better here. Oh, sorry, a little bit more. Again, possibly a little bit of issue with the audio, as we're going to adjust this on the fly again. Try to get that together for you guys. Apologies all around. There we go. Now here's the only female competitor in our field today. Emily is going to be streaming. Their team captain, Tebow. As you can see, Tebow, Cushy, Emily, and Dom have really built a nice rapport with each other. You're going to hear the communication being very low throughout the night with them. It seems that Emily has just her audio on. We'll try to get that fixed later on as we can. As we're going to go to our first gulag of the day, hopefully. And not many of them to come. However, this is going to be a waiting game, so we might have to go around as they are just waiting for another competitor here. We're actually going to go down to Team Send It. Oh, we're still in the still stuck and troubled with that one as well. We're going to go back up to Ruck +1 here. We're going to try to get over to and switch between games all day long. Hopefully we can get these going.
Well, they didn't come back. Did everybody have a gas mask?
I just. No, right here.
Oh, yeah. Here we go, going towards the end of this game here. So we're going to stay with this one for a little bit. As you can see, Ruck, their team captain,
There's a team. Hey, there's a team that got blue
the
marker
three
and
brothers
team,
Ruck
guy
and
in that,
Glenn
a red marker.
moving up into the mountains.
I have to shine too much with this.
Hey, Jay Wood, can you let them know I'm going to
This is
delete them
always
off
a
my
tough
friends list if they don't
situation.
chill out?
When you're moving from the trees into cities, there's usually a big gap of not a lot to be covered with.
How far below?
And it seems to have 8 teams left here.
Yeah.
As you can see, they're
Why do we want
looking
them?
bridge
Damn,
and
look at that
possibly
whole team
town that they're going to have to try to get all the way across to.
There! I've got
Circle
movement.
seems to
Probably a
not
bunch of
have
people
a
going in
hole
right now because the
covered.
gulag's closed, so
So
I'm
hopefully
not
they can
room.
find a ridge or something behind it just to
I
be
do
able to
the
have
gun
a little
effect.
bit of cover as they move and as they try to last get a few
There's
more
guys
wins.
there.
We gotta watch this fire out because it might be
Target spotted.
Alright, who's just shot that?
Hit one.
7 teams now remaining.
Hey, wait, guy down at the loadout,
Target spotted. I can't do nothing.
Found him?
Shit.
5 teams now. This is
Mission
good
for you.
points here, folks.
Right here, right here.
Right here, right here.
There!
Going over here.
I've got movement.
Belay
There's
that.
one running.
Target spotted.
Hey, storm's coming. Is this coming yet? Oh, no, we're good. Oh, yeah, hey,
Now they're trying
storm's
to
coming.
plan out their next movement.
I'm trying to get to the bridge.
A lot of room they have to cover.
Figures out the
Ruck
river.
flying down across. He's trying to look for
I'm
a
not
spot
gonna
to
watch
hide
that.
out as he goes. He's going to pick this corner right underneath the bridge, trying to make sure he has no again, a lot of space here for only 5 teams remaining. Maybe this circle will close quicker than expected. However, a lot of room as they
Someone's
move
flying on you.
across the frozen water up underneath this valley of sorts with the
Hey, I was trying to get to this building right here.
Trying to
That
find
building's like almost in the middle of the circle.
Hold on, back.
4 teams remaining, 14 players.
I'll spell and let it be known.
All 4 of the Ruck +1 still alive, still moving up the hill here.
You've got gas inbound.
Using the heartbeat to try and get a view on some players. However, they
6
could have
rocks, don't need
ghosts
any.
and have that perk.
I'm full right now.
Careful going up the stairs. No one seems to be home.
I don't have a self-revive.
Yeah, same.
Continue to look
Oh, you
for
don't
shots.
have
We're
streak,
gonna stick with this team
period.
as this
Yeah, I
game
got people
shapes
47
out,
meters in front.
as this will
In the
certainly
field,
be
Mike.
Ruck +1's first game that they will submit. Shots ringing out. Oh, and now they're having trouble with the stream here, folks. This is on Ruck's channel. So if we're having trouble with us and that having a loading screen, it's definitely having trouble on their ends as well. We will definitely keep you updated on what happens there as we move on to the next game here. Pre-Buttered Toast having a little bit of trouble here, as they're in a tough game as well. as a player gets dropped. Here we go. We're going to go to the split screen here so you guys can see both games in action.
Broke one shield right here.
Getting another kill, pre-buttered toast in the bottom
Yeah, in this
right.
house.
Ruck's team in the left. RPG's ringing out from Ruck in the top left. Shots on the mountaintop coming down from the bottom right with pre-buttered toast firing in. Another body, another man down on Ruck's on Harry's here on pre-buttered toast.
Only 5 remain. Finish the job.
Trying to move down the hill here. They get another one. Blood spattered and they go.
Let's
down.
go,
That's gonna
fellas.
wrap it up for them.
Hey.
A fifth place finish. Gotta see how many kills rung out in that game.
Come back out.
Yeah, you're good.
A 15-point kill game and a 5th place finish.
Boy, come on now.
Oh, let's get it. The big start.
That is a 22-point game here, folks. And we'll get those scores in as we kind of move forward here. We're going to try and cover as many of these teams as we go. Again, trying to make sure we stay
I got it. We're good.
And Ruck's team actually got the victory. That's huge moving forward, fellas. A lot of teams coming in as we're going to try and transition over to Team Vienna moving towards the stadium. And we're going to watch them as we get these scores calculated up here and put into the system. And there we are, a 25-point game from Team Vienna. On the other screen, they were able to get a 4th place finish and a 15-kill game. Very well done. And as they move through this town, we're going to try and take another look at another team here. Try to get to a game that is a little bit more in the thick of things. We're going to move on to COVID-19, our defending champs. 15 teams remaining. You can see some teams here. Teams quickly slowing down here the games towards this part of it. If it's a bigger circle, you're going to see the game come to almost a complete stop as teams try to get their position, try to plan out the next few circles from what they know or what they don't know. Some teams have the recon where they can see the next few circles, or they just kind of take their best shot, go towards the middle of the circle, and try to plan out their best attack here. We're going to stick with this team for a little bit as they're the only ones that's pretty close to a finish in their game here. Every other game has about 25 teams or more left. So we're going to stick here, and I hope you enjoy the commentary. And again, trying to find a good place to stay. And you see here, they're going to wait for this circle to come in, see if they can get a good placement. They're hoping they can get that circle moving back towards them as they are towards the coastline. And it's not too bad of a circle. They do have a building that they're pointing out on their way into the center of the circle, but they have to find a way to get there. They're going to see if they leave early or late, and they're also going to mark a few other buildings, taking their time to decide where to go. And here they are moving into the houses just outside the hills here. Almost towards the cul-de-sac is where this circle is going to finish up. The cul-de-sac is a bunch of houses that look very similar to each other, same colors, that many players are familiar with, as it is a hotbed for a lot of teams landing there, as it has about 6 or 7 houses in a circle that you can get a pretty good rotation through and loot and get yourself ready for the next movement in. They're moving into one of the outside houses just outside the hills, as it is on the edge of the circle. They have a buy station as well, so if they need to get a player back quickly, they can do that. They're shooting on a player at 2nd floor, throws up a C4. No connection, throws one inside. They get a little bit of one with a stun grenade. A player gets him. Oh, what horrible timing. Sean gets one. They start to revive with a player in the garage, a couple players down, a couple players still up. Nice job, fellas. And they get the kill there. They get a full wipe there. As they continue to move into the circle, now they have a little shed here. This is what they kind of feared, is that moving to this house gives them one shed that's inside the circle. It's not much to play with, but they have to utilize this in the ridge that they have here at their disposal. Again, another long walk, again, going towards the hills. There's definitely teams that have already taken shelter in that circle. It's almost right over the hills. A tough, tough rotation here, folks. Still no teams really close to their finish, so we're going to stay here and watch this game pan out here as they are the closest to a victory. And they continue to move in. And they got another one outside the building there, trying to make sure they have good eyes here, as they have actually got a pretty good house here as long as they get the circle, and they do! They have a great circle. This next one will be the final circle, so all teams are going to be able to move to them. Their house is probably the most central, too, so they have really good placement here between their house and the one that actually he was looking at to his left. Those two are probably the best ones close enough to the center of the circle. They're going to have to get these kills, probably stay on the outside of this wall here that goes towards the center of the cul-de-sac. And they're going on the roof here. Risky play with a lot of room out here. But I guess they're taking into account that with 3 teams left, 3 teams left and 6 players, they're the only full. So I don't think they've realized that it's a 3. They're 3 and a 2v1. And if you're getting shot at, guys, that means that's the only team left. More shots ringing out here on this household. They have a very good stronghold, guys. This looks very good for this team here. Cove 19, the team that came away with the victory last time. You're watching Winston here moving in. Trying to stay to the edge. Throws in and gets a team wipe. Gets downed in a team wipe. Now it's all let the dogs out here, folks. Five players remaining in a team. That means the team of 2 is still alive. And that's the win, folks. A great win. A 13-kill win. That gives them a 38. Oh, 14 to get more kills as it goes in. That is a 39. And that 39-point game is a big one for the defending champs. And that is a big one for Team Cove 19, guys, as they are defending champions. And that'll put them in a pretty good spot moving forward, as we're going to go slide over to Team Muffs here, who seems to be in their own issue here, folks. Ringing out shots. Apologies if this is a little bit louder than the other one. They have really good comms. This is just a little bit louder. firing upon the hill. This is a tough spot. They have a risky time to throw one out there. Gets it off. However, doesn't get any hits on either. Puts on his mask, and it's going to take it off, take it on. It's going to be that weird glitch that they have here as he has to put it on, put it off in open space. Moving on the edge of the circle, getting shots off, rings off. Oh, a drop shot puts him down. He's initiating self-revive as the player tries to fight more players on the edge. He's going to be able to get it off. He's going to put a rocket in. He's going to fire. Doesn't connect, and he gets dropped again by the storm. 7 teams remaining here. He's down. They're moving into the smaller circle here. We're going to stick with this game and see how this pans out. 7 teams remaining. Player goes down. He's now spectating. This will be the last circle. A lot of open space here, folks. This game should not last very long as long as they can find some riches. Oh, another play gets dropped. A player goes down. Five teams remaining, and they go down. Can't seem to get through the woods. Very tricky rotation they had to go through there, but a 6th place finish here for Team Muffs. 3 points in a 6th place finish. And that is only a 10-point game for Team Muffs, but that'll get them on the board, folks. That will get them on the board. Very tough rotation to try to get through. And you can tell they're not satisfied with that as their kills didn't match the placement they had. As you can see, other teams, their kills have been in the double digits as they've gotten that placement to go along with it. The combination of the two is what we are looking for here for good scores throughout the night. However, 10 points is 10 points. That puts them on the board, and they are moving again, trying to continue on with their gameplay here, folks. We're going to try to continue on here. Moving over to Team Pre-Buttered Toast, getting going. Looking to be inside some buildings here, trying to keep a good placement. Again, work on the outside of the wall. More mountaintop that they're going to have to climb to get up there. A loadout drop also close to. They might have to move to it. But they see some opponents possibly in the near distance. So they're going to try to move towards it. Oh, and some shots ringing out. They're trying to get some more here. Well done. And we're going to go to the split screen as 2 games are in very good places here. Team Pup and Suds in your top left corner. Pre-Buttered Toast in your bottom right. You can hear him talk, saying, play for the win here. Trying to make sure that they're in a good spot. As a lot of these teams trying to put more and more good games together as we are only about an hour into the competition. Ooh, and a player gets sniped from Pre-Buttered Toast in the bottom right corner. We're going to switch that top left corner screen for you guys. We're going to watch Team Ruck here try and get going as they are in a really good spot as well, trying to move in to a smaller circle here. This could be potentially their 2nd win on the night, folks. too many games to really focus on here, folks. We're going to have to try and keep this going. We're going to stay with these two in action here, folks. And he gets dropped in the bottom corner. Tough situation there for them. We're going to try and continue on here as this game up here still looks to be pretty darn good. As Pre-Buttered Toast looks to be moving pretty well here. Oh, excuse me, Pup and Suds. Excuse me, Team Pup and Suds still moving. We're going to try and watch the rest of their game. Moving into the circle. Apologies for the poor stream. And he goes down. And he doesn't get. We're going to quickly switch over and catch the end of the
you still got one to your right
here.
somewhere.
This is their second game, and again,
Yes,
another
killed him. Please see that.
long-lasting game here. Down to the top 3 kills, players left here.
Team.
Ethan, the younger of
You're in
the
between the
Buck
two guys
brothers,
you're fighting.
the only one left in a circle of 7 players. 3 teams. Ring out shots. Peeking inside the house. It's going to be a freeze here. Always against the house, no cover.
Take a
third place finish for Ruff.
photo of that.
However,
Third place plus what we have.
Up here, and that is a good thing for the rest of this field. We're going to swap over quickly to Team Vienna, who again in another tough spot here early on in the game. All 3 competitors out. The Irishman, Cushy, the only one left to try to defend their honor. And we're going to step away quickly. We're going to stay with Team Vienna moving through the town as Cushy tries to find some money and revive them. And we're going to quickly tally up the totals. And the scores should be updated on your screen coming in right now. And those scores, as you can see, oh, we got a fixed team muff here as it's still not ringing incorrectly. We're going to try to fix that very carefully for you guys. As you can see, like as I was discussing before, the differences in communication between each team, as Team Cove-19, the defending champions, is a little bit more on the brutal side of communication at times. However, there we go, trying to just get all of these scores looking the right way as we continue to add them in here, slowly but surely. And there we are. Scores continuing to ring in here. And more scores coming in. Team Send It having a tough go of it, folks. As we're going to quickly switch over to Team Muffs as they have a gulag here. And he gets dropped. That's tough. And that was an early exit for that team, as we're going to try and keep switching over to the next games here, as we're going to continue to cover. And this is going to be Cove-19 trying to get them on the board here as we continue, as they have a 39-pointer. However, haven't been able to put something else up since, as they slowly fall behind the competition. But again, only an hour into the competition. We have another 2 hours. The scoring system here. Teams will have 3 hours to put together their scores from the best 4 of those games in those 3 hours. The top score in those 4 hours will take away the money. And we are adjusting the scores here as Team Muffs is not Team Muffs anymore. The original Team Muffs is Team Pup and Suds this week. Team Muffs is a team that was entered in place of Team Pup and Suds. And Team Pup and Suds actually was able to get a team together and place their team into this competition late, as we are having that adjusted right here, and it should reflect on your screen. There we are. Team Pup and Suds with a 10-pointer earlier, and then put together a 14-point game, putting them at 24. Team Vienna holding steady with a 25-point game, as Team Send It. Oh, excuse me, that is incorrect. I apologize once more. Let me get this fixed and set together. As Team Pup and Suds still hasn't put a score together. Team Send It, Team Send It, with the games that have been put through already, as a 6-pointer and a 14-pointer. That will put them at 20. That'll put them at 20 points. Team Pup and Suds, as Team Pup and Suds, we will adjust these right now for you guys so you guys can see it. 20-point game for Team Send It. And they were able to get that situated and able to come away with a little bit of extra cash for themselves, trying to put themselves in a good situation moving forward. We're going to try and slide over again, going to our defending champions, Team COVID-19, as we continue to get these points under control. As you can see, this team doesn't mess around. They don't play games with how they kind of take on different attacks. And now they're going to switch over to Team Muffs here. This is Charles' team, one of the newer competitors into this competition, a group of 4 that hasn't played in this tournament yet. We're going to quickly switch over to Team Vienna, who dropping back into the game here late, trying to make sure they have enough money to get some things together. They're approaching top 10 team territory. We're going to single out this game and make sure we can watch it here. Trying to get a very important points here. Team Vienna looking to continue to rise up the ranks here, hopefully passing COVID-19 after this game, putting in a second score that could potentially put them above and beyond. Loadout drop coming in. They might need to move towards that as a few of their team have just spawned back into the map, moving across and having a lot of ground to carry. And you can hear their dissatisfaction as they have to move all the way across the map here, trying to find different things to help. That's going to help one player for sure, as Emily needed a gun to try and move in here, and that a thermal silenced AR with only 50 bullets. Now she gets her ammo, gets a little bit more, so she has a few clips just to be able to handle it and move in. Just listen to how calm they are when they communicate here. Not as loud, as boisterous as the other teams. A little bit more calm in their demeanor. And they found the players using the ghost. Emily sees one scoped in, but doesn't want to take a shot as she has an... And she sees them both. Now they're just kind of getting the players in order here, making sure they can see them as the placement continues to go down, as they're able to get in the top 6 now. They're approaching top 5 territory. Top 5 now. These could be really big, important points for this team. Cushy has been downed. Emily's getting shot at now. Trying to get behind the house quickly. She gets behind. Dom is trying to get circle as they're trying to get him up. As only Emily and Dom. Emily gets downed. And now Dom is the last one left as they look to try and come out of this with a few more points. Now it's just playing for a little bit of extra. Dom just has to play it very cautious here. He's a very talented sniper, and so being in the woods as he is could actually pay some dividends, but he has to be cautious and has to be careful with which opponent he selects to take out here. There he is. He sees one. Takes a shot, and I think he missed. Oh, he choked it. That's exactly right. They're telling him to play very cautious here. Exactly. They're telling him to play it very cautiously, stay to the edge of the storm, just to let other teams take each other out. Now, when you get to that top 3 territory, when you go from top 3 to top 5, you're gaining an extra 5 points. That could play huge. So right now, he's in 4th place. With a 4th place finish here, he would only come away with 10 points. 3rd place, he would get 15. 2nd place, 20. And the victory would be 25. So that's all he's trying to do now is just get a few extra points. He downs one. And because of that, he pays the price. Comes away with a 4th place finish. And only 3 kills, though, to match it. That's not going to be able to do it, folks. 4th place, that's 10 points. With those 3 kills, that's a 13-point game for Team Vienna. And that'll put them up to 38. We're going to slide back into another game here. Pre-buttered toast late into a game as well. You're going to hear a lot more game sound out of this. And that'll put their total up to 38, so just below Team Cove 19. Yeah, it's a tough one to take, folks, but at this point, with so much time still remaining, you just want to have points on the board just to show where you stand in comparison to other teams. Then you know what you have to do to put yourself in a better spot. No one knows how many games you put up. No one knows if it's one game or three that have combined for your total. What you have to do is you have to look at that total and say, okay, we have 4 games in. We're down a couple points. We need to get those back. And that is how you know. And that is why it's so useful to have this stream up and showing the scoreboard as you're kind of moving towards the end of the night. At this point, not a lot of teams worrying about it as they know they have many games to play and have to put their points up and have to put scores up. We're going to switch over to COVID-19 as they are in the top 10 of their game. We're going to go to the split screen here so we have both games up so you can see both teams moving. It's a tough movement here, folks, for both teams. Top 9 for COVID-19 in your top left corner. Looks like top 7 in your bottom right with pre-buttered toast. Shots ringing out. They get a bunch there. Pre-buttered toast moving in and get a few collateral damage. Team wipes there. Moving in, trying to get a few of their... Get some ammo and get some shields there. Now they're trying to stay on the edge of the circle with a little bit more. Now they're moving up the hill. They're going to have to play on the bottom side of the hill here. Very tough rotation for this team to have to overcome. As COVID-19 in the top left corner, moving, and they get another one. MP7, a very popular gun in this game. MP7, M4, excuse me. And pre-buttered toast gets wiped out there by a thermal imager. And more teams moving into the smaller circle, and he gets dropped. That is a second place finish. How many kills did we have in that one? The limbs here, we'll quickly see here. That's quite a few. That'll be a big one for them. And we're going to quickly switch over here to COVID-19 in their game towards the end here as well. There we go, 2v1. They know they're communicating very well. And a second place finish. Very good games from all teams around there. You're going to see, we're seeing a lot more games go late, playing a lot more cautious as the storm gets smaller and trying to get towards the end of games. Is that another win for a second place finish possibly? Yes, a second place finish for Team Ruck. So that's 2 second place finishes from 2 teams, folks. That is one heck of a day. We're going to switch back over to Team Vienna early in their game, but we're going to have to get some kind of coverage going here as we try to get these points together. We're going to take a quick break to get the scoreboard all adjusted, and as we do, please enjoy the rest of the gameplay. Thank you. This is the Ammo Saturday Showdown, brought to you by Ammo, your home for your competitive gaming leagues. And we're back. We're going to continue watching Team Vienna as other teams are still getting games started here, as we might shift over. But this is the Ammo Saturday Showdown, brought to you by Ammo, your home for competitive gaming leagues, as we continue on with this 3-hour marathon of tournament play. We have 7 teams competing over your 3 hours from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 p.m., trying to put together the best scores over their 4 games. And here you are. Here is one of the scoreboards here. We're gonna update this one as well, so you can see how these teams kind of ring out here. And Team Send It putting in another score here. Tough outing so far. As they put in a score of 19, not going to get it done, but it is going to keep them in contention as they continue to move forward. We're going to go over quickly to Team Muffs in an actual gulag here. And he gets dropped on the gulag. Looked like he had the first shot, but couldn't connect quick enough with the second. And he gets dropped, and we continue on. As we continue to edit these scores and getting them all situated for you, take note that that score by Team Send It puts them at 39, continuing to move them up the board here. Competition getting a little tighter as this competition gets a little bit further in, as we're an hour and a half in at the halfway point of this 3-hour time slot here. try to switch over to another game here as Ruck's team, about 24 teams remaining, excuse me.
Yeah, we're good now. Y'all can come jump on it with me.
A little bit quieter of a stream here in Ruck's. Ruck +1.
Gas is
Holding a
close.
pretty good spot in the leader
Get to the
position
new
We
safe
got a
zone.
ways to
137
go.
points. 3 great games, a 51
Loadout drop
42
right here.
and 44
Recon
output
intel
points here. Still able to
Pure,
put their
solid
next
work.
game up on the board. They've had 3 quality games, and as
Look how
far as I
far
know,
that is.
I've only played
All the way
3.
up to the floor.
Sheesh.
That's going to go a long way pushing forward as this competition grows.
Hostile recon overhead.
How the hell did you ping that?
Game, yeah, we've been pushing into the circle.
If you go on the map, it pops
Oh.
up, Mike. I'm going
Ah. Mike, come on now.
I know you aren't talking.
Beautiful.
Team's still only at 39 submitted.
Yeah, they're probably just hiding their scores right now.
Wait, I was just listening to the stream and it said that they came up short and I'm getting, hey, guys right in front of us. Popping off, popping off.
Closest
Probably on
to
top
that
of the
stadium.
fucking stadium.
Got bounty on the way.
I'm buying another UAV up here.
This team's continuing to move
There's
towards
no
the
recon up
stadium here,
Anybody need that?
trying
Yeah,
to make sure that they have a pretty good position. The stadium is a
If we know
very
where the
tricky
next
place.
one
We have a lot of open
Remember that
angles, but
one?
you always have one side open
Yeah, we just gotta
as
survive.
one is closed off towards the stadium.
It's gonna be
Team
at super
usually sits
Yeah,
on
but
top of
getting
the
to
stadium
it's
and
gonna be
hides
a
out. Not a
Yeah.
very good team, but a very effective
Long ass way to
position.
go.
If the circle seems to play on them. As they move around this circle, you're going to see them try to get some other things like a recon or even a scavenger to try to place themselves in a good
UAV.
position. As this game seems to be getting into
Oh,
the
got me
pretty,
some target fucker,
getting
Bob.
closer to the top
Oh,
20.
yeah, touch it.
We're going to
Power
try
round.
and move on to
Anybody
the
need this?
Gas
next
is closing in.
Extra
available team that's a
Cash
little bit
if you need
closer
it.
to an end game
Anybody gonna take
situation.
those? No?
As more and more teams are getting dropped out, having a
Pop
tough
mine.
situation
Hey,
here.
Glenn,
Glenn
drop
out.
me.
Pre-Better Toast, who is in a tough situation, a player down. Players left on the roof. It seems like all of his teammates are down below. Hopefully they can get back up to him, but we won't know if he'll be able to do so. And a guy comes up to him. He's trying to hide from him now. Yep. And he knows it. Knows that he does not have an ability to get away from that as he gets finished. Not sure if that player will have a gulag to be able to fight his way back to his team. And a team wipe, that's a huge finish for that team there, folks. And we're going to quickly switch over to COVID-19. Last week's winner of the Saturday Showdown. And a win in the Gulag gives them an extra kill. Gulag points are massive in the scheme of things. Each Gulag kill does count towards an elimination and an extra point for your team. Trax, we appreciate the love. Thank you for flying Zeta Airlines. We appreciate you joining the stream. As we continue on, we will follow this coverage, flipping between teams, and he gets dropped. Oh, a guy hiding behind a little door. What a tough spot to go down. However, we have a Gulag underway, folks. Let's see this Gulag. Oh, they're going to leave it because the points were not where they wanted to be. They wanted to make sure they can get to a better game. So we're going to switch back over to Pre-Buttered Toast as they are starting to loot. 3 of the 4 members still around and kicking, and they're going to try to move into a better position within this storm. Shots ringing out outside of it looks like the boneyard, around that wall. More shots ringing out, players running around. Looks like with a riot shield. That's one of the newly added items that came with this update. Taking a firing battle, 1-for-1 here, and he gets hit. Trying to stay on the other side of the wall, moving out, trying to get a better angle. Can't seem to connect. And he gets dropped on the railroad tracks. A tough spot, as it's going to be a long crawl to get back to the rest of his teammates. We have a res and then a team with 3 players still up. Trying to continue back on. And another team rolls in. That's the toughest spot about Boneyard. A lot of teams like to roll through that, and if they do, there's a lot of open space there when you get towards that railroad track side. We're going to quickly switch over to Ruck +1 here. The 3 brothers, Ruck and Glenn,
Heading this way.
taking shelter in the top of a house. Look to be, I cannot make out where they are as their stream again goes down. Having a little technical difficulties tonight with Ruck's stream. Smaller circle here with 24 teams remaining as they are going to try to find a different place here. We're going to quickly switch over to Team Vienna. Team Vienna having a better time out than last. Still early in their game, 32 teams remaining. They're going to have to find a better spot to be as they continue on. We're going to quickly switch back and forth all night long. I hope you enjoy this stream here, folks, as we continue to cover the Saturday Showdown brought to you by Ammo, your home for your competitive gaming leagues. We're going to switch back over to pre-buttered toast as they continue to roll through the boneyard. A very popular spot in this map. Continuing to make their way around that area. And finally, Team Muffs submitting a lot of their scores. So we're going to take a quick break to get these scores down and see where they rank up within these other teams. I am Zeta Fly here, bringing to you the Saturday Showdown. We'll be right back. And here we are, folks. The updates to the scoreboard as Team Muffs have put together 4 very rough games, fellas. Their 4 games equal up to that total of 32 points on the day. That is going to put them firmly in last place currently with still a lot of time left. There's only 9:45 and this tournament will go a little bit past 11 as their game has to start before 11 p.m. hits. As 11 p.m. hits, they are able to finish out their games up to 11:30. That last score has to be put in before 11:30. We're going to keep trying to stay with these games here as more and more teams are lasting longer into these circles here, but most of these games still very early on. But we're going to transition over to Pre-Buttered Toast. Another late game here, just getting closer under that top 20, trying to approach that top 10. That top 5 is where you kind of want to get to for your points to really start to add up. At this point, when you get to that top 20, you're only getting a point for that placement. Top 15, you get 2 points. Top 10, you get 4. Your top 7 is where you get 7 points. If you keep that in mind, top 7 is 7 points. So anything above that, anything better than that, you're getting 10 points. Top 4, you get that 10 points. Top 3, you get the 15. Top 2, you get 20. In that Victory Royale, you get a good 25 points going along with every elimination you have. Every elimination also equals 1 point. The best game on the day was submitted by Ruck +1, the 3 brothers Ruck and Glenn, with a 51-pointer. Still chasing after the best game of the tournament, which was 52 points, put on by COVID-19 in last week's edition of the Saturday Showdown. For those new to this tournament, a 51-point game basically means they had a win, which is a 25-pointer, and then the kills to equal up to 51. So they had 26 combined team kills and the 25-point win to come up with their 51-point. They also had a 42-pointer and a 44-pointer today to bring the total to that 137 that you see in your top right corner. In second place is Pre-Buttered Toast, PRBT on your screen, the left side of your screen. They had the second best game of the day with 48 points. A game that was very similar, actually, the same amount of kills and placement as Ruck +1 and having a 42-point game and then a 22-point game. That was their first game of the day. And those are their 3 scores so far, still looking to add their 4th score to the mix. As Team Muff is the only team that has submitted 4 scores on the day, as they're taking pictures of everyone. And a player goes down here as Pre-Buttered Toast gets an elimination. And they bought a player back as they took out a team. A precision airstrike incoming. They have to get shelter. I want to take this moment to say thank you for watching as we are enjoying what we are seeing so far in this tournament, the second of the Saturday Showdown series. Next week, we will start the Ammo League, a team versus team league that'll go on for the considerable future. Should have about, you should see about 16 games a week being broadcasted right here on twitch.tv/ZetaFly, also on YouTube at YouTube/ZetaFly, as well as on the Facebook at ZMoney32010. The Ammo League will feature a similar format. I hope he saw the sniper in the distance there as he gets to this backside of the house. Very open roof with not as the high ground as they would like as he drops deck down quickly to get inside this building. But yes, the Ammo League will have a similar format, hosting teams of 3 or 4 and showcasing a team versus team format where teams will have a certain amount of time where they have to come up with the most kills, and which will lead to a playoff system towards the end of the year. And unfortunately, a player goes down here. 13 kills rung out so far as they have hit the top 15. Players dying quickly here. Down to the last 2. More players running in, trying to get inside as a player is revived. They get him up. Now they have 2 players remaining. He shoots that RPG to give him a little more time and space here to come up with an idea of what they're going to do here. Now that that team knows that he has an RPG, they're going to play a lot more careful trying to infiltrate this building. With an RPG out, it's not good to be on that side of the railing. They have to play a better spot as he drops down. Trying to get to the backside, get a few more of these armor plates here. Sappies, as they're called. Two manning this corner. Now they try to get shots off. Rings out. He hits them hard. Gets dropped in the process as a player was on the roof. And they all get dropped. A 14th place finish. I believe they finish off with 13 kills in this game. Yep, 14 kills in 14th place. That will be good enough to add it on the scoreboard. Hopefully they have a picture of that as we're going to switch over to COVID-19. So that'll be a 16-point game for Team Muffs. Team Pre-Buttered Toast there. That'll be the second team to submit a total of 4 scores. As we're going to switch over to our leaders right now. Team Ruck +1 as a player is in a gulag here. Having a little bit of trouble with their stream tonight, folks, as it's been a little bit on the rougher side with the connection.
Oh my god, I can't hit.
Back right, he's back right.
As he continues to have a little bit of trouble with his connection issues. Unfortunate as they are.
I could not hit with that pistol. Holy crap.
There he goes. He gets the kill, and he gets to exit the gulag and head back with his team. We're going to switch over to Team Vienna, who seems to be in an end-game situation here. We're going to sit there and watch this team try to get through this. Another game where a one player is live, the Irishman again, with 6 teams remaining. Seems to have a house to himself just outside the circle. Needs to find a way to get up the mountaintop. That's not going to be easy, folks, as he sees a player sneaking in, takes some shots, gets it down. That's an extra point for the team. 3 kills for him. Oh, he jumps out of the building. The guy on the bottom floor, he gets dropped, and that'll be it for their team. A 6th place finish. Tough rotation. He had to move up the hill, and of course, there's a player in the bottom with him. That is a 6 kill game, excuse me, in 6th place. That'll give them a whopping 13 on the night. And we're going to continue on here. We're going to try to get on to the next team. Team Send It as a 6 point, a 14, and a 19, coming up with their total score of a 39. We're seeing shots ring out here. Having a little bit of trouble here tonight. They're a team that was Team Muffs last week, had to put together a team last minute to enter this tournament, as they are all playing in a cabin together. Having a little bit of trouble with the connection as well with this team. We're going to switch over here so we can try to get some split screen coverage so you guys can see what is going on right now. In your bottom right corner is Team Puppin Suds. In your top left is going to be Cove 19, as we try to adjust these scores for you. Getting these scores together for you guys. Give us one moment as we tally up the totals. And we're going to continue to switch back over. This is Team Muffs looking at a smaller circle here, trying to stay alive as this is getting a little bit closer to the end game here. Oh, we're going to quickly, actually, we're going to switch back over to Team Pup and Suds as they are in a top 10 situation here. Let's tune in. And you saw one team go down there late in the game. Hopefully that adds his points on their board, but still moving on. This is Muffs, Team Muffs, having a tough night, giving very low scores in their 4 games, 32 points total, as they look to try to put one really good one on the board here, approaching the top 20 circle. Team Muffs putting in a score possibly from this game that we're watching. It might be a little delayed. I don't want to give it away the details. I'm sorry, this might not be Team Muffs here. I believe this is a different team. Pre-Buttered Toast, excuse me, is on the screen here as they ring out a few kills. Team Muffs just finished off a game, 7-kill game with 11th place finish. That's going to give them a 9-pointer, crossing out one of their games, putting their total to 36 on the day. Still not great, but still adding points, trying to climb up the board here. At this point, they have a lot of makeup room to cover up. In the last hour, folks, before we close this competition, again, teams can start their last game as long as they get that start in before 11 o'clock hits. They are all set to play out that last game and get the points if they choose to do so. And a player goes down. He's going to the gulag. Folks, we'll watch this gulag happen, as this could mean a lot for this team, as Pre-Buttered Toast is still playing very well on the evening. Moves to his right, looking down the middle, looking out. A lot of teams usually stick to this wall here. Still doesn't see him. Throws out. Throws one. Oh, C4 rings out. And he gets him with the C4 kill. What a play. What a toss from across the gulag. And that'll send him back into play, folks. Still alive, still thriving. Here we go. Pre-Buttered Toast still trying to make some waves into this competition here. We're going to try to go back to Team Ruck +1, as they have had some technical difficulty on the night with their stream, but still trying to get a few more points as they're looking forward. again, our stream has been having a little bit of trouble all night long, trying to stay a little bit connected, but can't seem to keep that together. As we'll switch it over to Team Send It. Team Send It in the top, could be potential top 10 finishing position here. Excuse me, this is still early in their game. This is 37 teams remaining, so they still have lots of time. We will switch over to Team Cove 19 as we look in for more scores as we get them together. And a great kill by Winston, moving in to try to get his finish here. Looks like he left the game, so that'll be registered as a kill. He gets it there. I did make that adjustment, I believe, in this game to try and keep all of them together, make sure they're all on the same page, and they get that kill. Now they're trying to secure a recon. The recon, if you're new to the war zone, recon will give them a next circle so they know where to go, where they're heading to position themselves better within this circle. You can see the communication that they have. They're saying they don't have a whole lot of kills, but they have to move towards this team, try to get some points here before they get knocked out. Otherwise, it doesn't really mean much if they play a long game with not a lot of kills. And they're going to back out there and try to start fresh. And they were a little upset there. They want to play out gulags because, again, a gulag kill registers as an elimination. And that adds to your points, guys. That's a big difference between going back and having a good game and potentially losing out on a potential that a circle might have played in your favor. We're going to stick with Team Send It here as their other teams are seeming to be starting different games now. Cove 19, you just saw die, so they're about to load up into another game. Pre-Buttered Toast loading into a game of their own as well. Muffs still early in theirs. Ruck +1 still having a little bit of technical difficulty with their stream. So we're going to try our best to stay with the rest of the coverage while we can. And Team Vienna, again, also dropping into a new game. So we're going to do our best here to stay with some games here. We're going to drop back in to Team Muffs, who needs to put a good game together here. Sitting in last place with 36 points, a very difficult night for them. As those 36 points come on only one game hitting double digits. Very consistent with their scores, but not the kind of consistent you want. Having 2 9-pointers, an 8-pointer, and a 10. Putting together their 36 points on the night. Team Pup and Suds, led by General McCarth, can't seem to put multiple games together, as only having 2 games on the scoreboard, a 30-pointer and a 24-pointer, leaving them third to last, just beating Team Vienna. Team Vienna putting 3 scores up on the board, 2 13s and a 25. Can't seem to get that late placement along with those kills to combine together. Then we have Team Send It with 79 points. A 6-pointer and a 14-pointer are their 2 low scores that have them looking to add a little bit more to those, with a 22 and a 37 being their top 2 scores on the night. Then we get into the nitty-gritty, the top 2 teams. Pre-Buttered Toast with 128 and Ruck +1 with 137 points in the night. Pre-Buttered Toast putting together a 48 and a 42, tied for the second and third best scores of the night, but also have a 22-point game and a 16-point game that they need to better if they're going to have a shot at beating Ruck +1. Now, Ruck +1 only putting 3 scores up so far, but those 3 scores pack a punch. A 51-point game. That opened up the night. 51 points with 26 kills and a victory. Then after that, a 44-pointer and a 42-pointer. Those are their 3 scores. They still have 1 to put up, so they're guaranteed to at least have a few more points to add, hopefully getting over that 150 mark and putting them in a good spot to lead the competition at the end of the night. We're going to try to get into the action with COVID-19 moving around a very, very popular spot on the map, military. Military base always has a lot of players putting in it, a lot of sharp corners, very dense areas mixed with a very wide area right next door. This is the closer quarter area. They get a team wipe, and look, they're staying a little bit closer together. You can see the camaraderie between them when they're all on the same page. This team ran away with the competition last week, putting on a show, having 176 points, 4 victories in their 4 games. Shots ringing out now. They're getting a little bit of pressure, pushing back into the little bit of houses here. One gets dropped out in space, and he's gone. And just like that, the camaraderie ends quickly. They get the full kill. I believe they're searching just for one more player. And wouldn't you know it, Team Ruck +1 gets another dub. My goodness, this is the type of games that you want to put together, folks. Team Ruck +1 putting up a 46-pointer. That might seal it, but we're going to watch the rest of the competition here, folks, as they continue on putting on a show. We're going to update this scoreboard that you're seeing here, folks. And they get a little more pressure here, folks. Here they go. They need a gulag kill. This is shaping up to be a very good game. If a player can win his gulag, they can get back together, and they can get this money together and bring their lost teammate back, be in a very good spot to move forward and put a very good game up on the board with still 45 minutes left to push your last game in. Ruck +1, putting up 183 points on the board, folks, giving them about a 60-point cushion over the next team. We're going to switch over to Pre-Buttered Toast as they're in second place, and we need to see how they're going to go. It's Eggy. Thank you for flying Zeta Airlines. We continue on with the coverage here. This is the Ammo Saturday Showdown, brought to you by Ammo, your home for your competitive gaming leagues. I am Zeta Fly here, commentating for the whole night. We still have about 40 minutes remaining for your last game to start. As we continue on here, Cove-19 having a tough time putting games together, but Pre-Buttered Toast also getting dropped in the process. We're going to switch back to Cove-19, trying to keep an eye on certain teams here, as we're going to try and get Ruck's team up on the screen if we can. Having a little trouble doing so, as their connection has been a bit of a troubling system all night long. And you can hear this team talking about bringing back together. We're going to look in on this team only here, and we're going to try to get this together. And a team wipe here. This is a good little section that they found themselves in here. Winston with 5 alone on himself. We try to stay with them as best we can to make sure that they are getting all the kills they need here, as this could shape up to be their game that puts them in a very good spot towards the end of the night. Winston gets dropped. And Bull is able to get him revived back to full strength here. They're going to let Winston heal back up, trying to stay tight together. Just listen to the communication that this team has here. They get one down. He saves him. Returns the favor. Bull revives him, and Winston saves him in time. And the communication, again, playing dividends. You can see when they have that good communication, good camaraderie, they play very well. When one of them slacks off and misses it, it completely ruins the nature of their team and puts them in a really tough spot. We're going to quickly switch over to Team Muffs, who is in a top 15 situation here. As shots are ringing off, they're in a battle here, trying to get up to the top of the mountain. Grenades being thrown. Top 16 right now. They need one more team to fall here. Try to get another point. There you go, a few more ringing out there. There's their top 15, so that's an extra 2 points. That's 2 points of placement to go along with how many of the kills they have, which we won't know until the end of their game. Pre-buttered toast is dropping into a game right now. And so that game could be meaningful. With this game, if they play it out well, they could have potentially 2 really good games to play out to finish. We're going to switch over to Team Ruck +1 here. Ruck +1.
Let's get this. Oh, let's go.
Marking new safe zone.
Yeah, I
Hey,
can pop
trophy
this
system right
UAV,
here.
boys.
Enemy
Y'all grab
is
that.
back.
Somebody pop UAV.
Wait till it starts closing.
The best connection
You
they've
wanna put it
had
down,
all
Ethan?
night long.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and
There's only
tune
10
in
people.
for
Oh,
as
no, whenever
long
we
as
start
we
getting
can
into a fight,
here
put it down.
while we have them.
Well, we're 4 of them. Never mind, there's like...
A good amount of dudes left, so let's just chill back
Only
here.
7
We'll be
dudes
alright.
left. The team of 4 and a team of 3.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Let's get it, fellas.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Pop it, pop it, pop it.
Oh, they're up
We've
top.
got gas moving in. Friendly
Yeah, they're
UAV
coming in, they're coming in.
overhead.
Yeah.
In the safe zone. Get ready for a fight. Red mark.
Get into the split screen action here.
I'm marked ours. Are you kidding me? They're pushing in, pushing in.
Hostiles in the area.
Great one up.
Inbound.
Down one.
Ruck trying to get a little bit
Throw
of
your
pressure
streaks in
on
if you have them.
his teammates here.
One's down.
I did.
10 remaining. Keep it up.
I'm watching our left flank.
I down one. I down one.
So side
got
building
movement.
goes down. Now that'll switch over to have
Right here.
There.
a different
Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah, he's in corner right there. He's in corner right there.
player.
I broke his shield.
We're gonna
Get away.
RPG rings out.
Left side, left side, left side here.
Grid marked. Let's move out.
Ruck is in open space here. It looks like he has his back to the storm though, so at least he knows one side is covered as he's playing this wall just outside the airport. All 4 of his teammates.
Going on the backside.
There. I've got movement.
Puppets
Eliminated
having
him.
a bit of trouble with their screen.
Another one in there. Here,
No.
Grid marked. Let's move out.
Holding up.
Don't drop down, Mike. Don't drop down. I think they're in this tunnel.
I gotta push.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Over to Ruck +1 here, just to catch their end of this game.
Damn. They gotta come out. They gotta come out.
Is this the only way they
Yeah.
On 3, they get an elimination.
Where the hell is he?
They have to come out. They have to come out of the circle.
Get him up.
I made a number on you,
They're
mate.
not coming out yet.
waited
Hey!
Here's the big three, folks.
Another one. Was at the 46-point game. Was as a 21
To the.
game, folks. 21
for that game,
kills
40.
with a 25
How many kills do we have there?
points. That'll be another 46.
They were 46 or
That'll
26.
take out
Hey,
their
24 to calculate that,
42-point
30
game,
points.
giving them an extra 4
51.
points, putting them at 187 on the night.
Get up.
Good. As we're going to
40.
switch back over to COVID-19, who had a very good game shaping out. And they are still moving top 16 situation here. The talk all week has been about how poorly Ruck and his team played last week and how they were very unhappy with the way they played. They are known as some of the better players collectively, and they wanted to showcase that last week and did not perform very well. Had one of the higher games last week, but couldn't put 4 together as Team COVID-19 was able to put together one of the better games you could see. This is what it seems to be, is that if you can get several wins, 3 or 4 wins, you put yourself in a very good spot to be at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the night. We have about a half hour remaining, and we're still looking at a very spread leaderboard here, ranging from 36 points of Team Muff and 187 of Ruck +1. Winston still having trouble putting up scores. We know they have more scores on the docket, but not very high touted scores. This is definitely going to be one of them at the higher end of their list. Get another one there. They get another one. Winston's playing very well. He gets a third. He killed them all. Lay them out. Doctor. That is hopefully one of the biggest plays of the night. That last player only needed to hit him with a little bit and couldn't seem to get that third shot to ring out. Top 10 situation here, folks. UAV bought. He picked a UAV over a self-revive, a good team play. However, it is always helpful to have at least one player with a self-res just so they can lift them back up in a high-pressure situation such as the ending circle. 23 kills. You hear that there, folks. Top 9. That top 7 will give them 7 points for that 23, so that'll be 30 as they're still trying to put some things together here. We're going to stay with this team as they were last week's champion. Having a bit of a rough night, but this is definitely shaping up to be one of the better games of the night. Very good high point here, folks, for this team. They get another knock here. Getting word that Team Muffs also had a very good game, a second place finish for Team Muffs. That'll give them 20 points just on placement alone. I wonder what the kill number was here. Another team wipe here for Team Cove 19, playing very well. I believe Team Muffs is trying to get their kill number together. And they get another down here, guys. They're getting close to that 30 kill mark here. This will be one of the better games of the night. Already surpassing Ruck's high total of kills. And Team Muffs puts in a 32-point game, giving him a very large rise in their score. Oh, man. This is a tough situation. Very open space. Only have ridges and rocks to kind of hide behind. Trees aren't doing the job. Gets a shot off from a long ways out. Gets another one from a long ways out. Can he get a third? Winston's ringing out shots from afar. Brings out another one. One player left. They're looking for him. There he is all the way down. Winston has a great position on him. Elimination again. He's getting a shot from afar. A different team looking at him. Up on the mountaintop, it's going to be a tough rotation here as they have to move into open space. Not a lot of cover out here. RPG sending down to them by his own teammate. 2 players left from Winston's team. COVID-19 trying to find a way to slide into the circle, come away with a win. 4 teams left. Top 3 gives them 15 points. Another player down. And there he goes. That will do it. A 4th place finish. That is a great game for them. That'll help. That will help quite a bit. A top 4 place finish. That is 10 points on that. That's 34 kills. They are under the impression that was a 44-point game. I will double check that to make sure that is the correct math, as we will quickly switch over to pre-buttered toast here. As they're in a firefight of their own. they will continue to move on. We're going to take a quick break to get these scores together so we know where we're looking at in this last 20 minutes. Lots of high scores coming in there, folks, as even Team Vienna pulls out their first win of the Saturday Showdown series, picking up 38 points to add to their total. We're totaling these up right now. This is the Ammo Saturday Showcase, brought to you by Ammo. Thank you. Dancing Queen, I appreciate you joining, and thank you for flying Zeta Airlines. We'll be right back after these. And there you are, the update to the scoreboard there, folks, as a huge jump for Team Vienna. We now sit Ruck +1 with 187 points at the top, followed by Pre-Buttered Toast with 128, a huge gap between those two. Team Vienna slides into third place with 89 points after putting in 4 scores. However, Team COVID-19 has 83 points with only 2 games submitted. After that, we have Send It with 79 points, all 4 games submitted, but plenty of room to grow. Pup and Suds with 54, but above them, just passing them after that win, is Team Muffs with 60 points. Much better turnout from all competitors here. Going into the Gulag here, Pre-Buttered Toast needs this to continue on. Let's see how this pans out. Actually, we're going to quickly switch over to Team Ruck +1 in another game of possibly winning. Coming down to the end here.
You had guys over here. Yeah, you had guys over here. Be careful. To your left.
Oh my goodness, a guy runs right in front of Ruck.
There's more.
Kill quickly.
Shit! Get out of there.
This is a very good position. The entire wall
To your left.
is circle, so they can play this wall. They can also play the little storage unit in storage room. This is a very good position.
God, Gary, he gave you
Just to bring back up.
There's more.
Here, folks.
shit! Get out of there.
Cluster strike inbound.
one is hill. They gotta come into us. I downed one.
Gary already killed one.
Sure there's no one back here.
Got 4 guys
Let's get it,
left.
fellas. 2v2v2 possibly, or
We're pretty far out. Better get going.
Oh, they're in there somewhere. Gotta be.
sniper.
Oh, 2 of them. 2 of them. Oh, yeah, kill 'em, Gary.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Send them things.
Get away. Set charge.
Where's he at?
COVID-19
You get up top.
in a 37-point game, a second place finish.
Down below. Yeah, over there somewhere.
That'll put them
He's gotta
It's
be
2v2 still.
third place.
inside that thing.
He's
Oh
right here.
shit.
Oh no.
Let's go.
That'll do it.
Oh baby.
Win.
Boy, look at
Oh
that.
my.
+1.
Good shit.
I don't know how much better your scores can get, fellas, but if this helps. 21, 25, that is definitely going to help. That is the best score we've had yet.
Oh my.
55-point game, knocking out their 44-point game, giving it an 11-point benefit. That puts it at 198 on the night.
How many points is that, Ethan?
55.
55. Oh my god, dude, we might break 200. We got time for one more.
Goodness gracious, folks. Just updating the scoreboard here, and we'll switch over to another game that is in the action, folks. But goodness gracious, coming down to the wire, and it seemed like it might have been getting closer.
Let's get it, baby.
But then Ruck puts up
Yeah.
14 of high points.
Oh, I know.
So we're going to continue on here, going over to Team Pup and Suds, just try to get a little bit of action going on. 14th place sitting in the gulag, it seems. And a gulag win keeps Pup and Suds alive here. Dropping back in 14th place. That's a really good spot to be in, guys. As we might actually end up going split screen here. Yes, and we're going to switch over to split screen here so we can see these two games playing out here, as in your top left corner, Team Pup and Suds, and in your bottom right is Team Vienna, both around that top 12 situation. Let's see how it plans out. We're going to quickly switch over to Pre-Buttered Toast here, as they're in a top 7 game right now. And this is a big one here. This could give us a little more space. And as I say that, they get dropped in open space. A 7th place finish, giving them 7 points for the placement. How are their kills here? Not enough to give them in a good spot, so we're going to switch back over here to the split screen image so we can get Pup and Studs on the screen, as I don't think that'll do for this team. And they get dropped out as well. Team Pup and Suds drops. So we're going to go strictly to Team Vienna here, as they are still alive and well in their game. Still 32 teams remaining in their game. So still a lot of time left for them to kind of shape out what this game is going to be. Again, about 12 minutes remaining here as they sit with 89 points. Not a bad night compared to their first time out, as we try to shift our attention to another team here looking for a game that is underway and kind of in the thick of it, as most of these games are a bit higher up on this scale here. But we're going to switch over to Team Send It really quick, as Team Send It is about 20 teams left, sitting at 79 points, and their 4 scores aren't the greatest here. At 37 to 22 formulates most of their points. Harry, man, I appreciate the follow. Thank you, and welcome to Fly Zeta Airlines. We are moving in here. So as I was saying, Send It with a 37 to 22, formulating most of their points, 59 of them, of their 79 points. 20 between the other 2 games, a 6 and a 14 is what they have on the docket between them. So you have to think, what games would be better off put in that spot? Switch back to Team Vienna here. Team Vienna, again, looking to give a little more space between them and the bottom dwellers here. 89 points is where they stand. 79, 60, and 54 are the teams below them, as COVID-19, with their other game they added, puts them a little bit higher up on the list. And that last game by Pre-Buttered Toast will put them at 132, giving them an extra 4 points added to their score, giving them a little more breathing room between them and COVID-19. However, COVID-19 has only 3 games logged. So this last game could jump them up quite a bit if they can put together a good last game. Still about 10 minutes remaining to start your last game. Again, the last game must start before 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is in 9 minutes. So they have 9 minutes to finish out this last game. we continue to adjust all the scoreboards here, just getting all the scores under control, as a lot of teams will be submitting scores in this last 10 or so minutes. You have a feeling that Ruck's team wants to put in another really solid game here, knowing that they're 2 points short of 200. That 200 mark is a mark that a lot of teams have been wondering about and trying to get to, as it just might be out of reach. That is 50 points each game, which not a lot of teams have come up to. However, Ruck +1 has a 55-point game. That was their last game they played, and that's their biggest game and the biggest of the Showdown series. A 51-point game, a 46, and another 46. That is where they stand, and that's what puts them at 198. Our second place team, Pre-Buttered Toast, having a 48-point game as their best, a 42, a 22, and a 20. COVID-19, a 44-point game, a 39-point game, a 37-point game, and that last score has yet to be submitted, so that will jump them up quite a bit, as long as that is a 12 or better. That'll put them in second place, if it were to stand as is right now. Team Vienna, 38 was their last game they played. That was a win and 13 kills. They also have 2 13s and a 25. In fourth place, Team Send It, having a 37-point game, a 22, 14, and a 6. And as we speak, this might be a game where they drop out, but they have 3 players remaining here, and they're still alive. They're still trying to move and still trying to get some points up. They have to keep an eye on that clock, though. They might not be able to get the last game in time. We're going to switch over to Team Muffs, as they are in a top 10 situation here, folks. 9 teams remaining, trying to keep things going. And Team Send It puts in a 21-point game. That 21-point game will cross out their 6-point game, giving them a 15-point bonus, putting them close but no cigar to Team Vienna. And actually, that last game by Team Send It will put them above Team Vienna for third place. Or, I'm sorry, excuse me, fourth place. We have 2 players remaining, it looks like here. 3 teams. 8 players. Playing in the tall weeds here under the bridge, it seems. He has to move. Storm is closing. He's stuck under it. He gets 1 knock. That's a huge one there, folks. Keeps the team alive. Playing in the storm, he has to come out. He's coming out, but doesn't have enough life to keep him alive. He's going to try to self-revive. Can't do it. 3rd place finish for Team Muffs. That'll give him 15 on the placement alone. How many kills did that come up with for this team? 9 kills to add to it. That'll give him a 24-point game for Team Muffs. That's a good one that'll help him out in the scores. Removing one of their 9-point games. That'll give them quite a big lift. However, it might still not be enough as they're looking for more. We're going to switch over to Team Cove 19 as they are looking again for another fight. This is a very aggressive team, and they need to do so if they want to pass and continue to pass the teams above them. 15 teams remaining here. They're going to continue to move up. And they're realizing that the game is over, so this is it. This is the last time, so we're going to do our last round through and make sure all these teams are entering their last games. You can hear the displeasure in their voice. They have had a very tough night. Seems like they haven't had a circle that played in their favor. That is a big deal in these types of matches and these types of games here. You have to play for late game, and when you're not able to get there, you're not able to put good games, long games together, it can be a little bit difficult. Team Muffs, that puts them up at 75 points. Not good enough to pass Vienna, but it puts them in a good spot, as all games must be finishing up now. So we're going to do a quick wrap around here as COVID-19. Muffs is now done for the night. Muffs is out. Pre-Buttered Toast is in their last game here. 20 teams remaining. Pup and Suds done for the night. Ruck +1 in their last game as well, but they don't need anything more. They have teams chasing them. COVID-19 done. They drop. 11th place, not good enough. That'll be their last game. 11th place, 16 kills. That's an 18-point game. That'll round out their scores, folks. That is 138. That'll put them in second. We're going to switch over to Pre-Buttered Toast here as they are in a game, and that will decide if they can pass and get second place here. The battle for second place is on. to stick here with pre-buttered toast, as this is a game that is for second place. They need to get a few more points here to pass into that spot. And as we watch on, it's going to be a tough battle here. All teams are in their last game. So 2 teams left to pay attention to here. And Team Vienna seems to be out here, folks. One of their better kill games, I will say. This must have been a game they started after the bell. Or we might be watching them, I might be watching them go down right now in real time. Oh, they're in their last one now, excuse me. So I am watching their last one. We're going to quickly switch over to that as we watch that game go on. That'll give them a 15-point game to take out one of their 13s. So that'll give them an extra 2 points there, not bad. That'll give them in the 90s, which is great, but they're still 3 points short. This could be a huge turn of events here, folks. As Vienna 3 points shy of 4th place. Now it's just for pride at this point. Holding over another player in our group's head that, hey, remember last week? With these 2 games remaining, pre-buttered toast and Team Vienna, the 2 teams with big implications here. Pre-buttered toast with 132 points, down by 6 to COVID-19. They need a 27-point game to get second place. they're a bit of a difficult situation. A guy's self-resing right now. They're trying to get a clean. And they might have done so. Another player hops out of a window. And there it is. There's the clean, folks. They keep him up now. The res, and they're back at it, folks. Now let's go to the split screen here so we can see these last two games play out. Team Pre-Buttered Toast in your top left. Team Vienna in your bottom right. These are the last two remaining games, both having major implications in the scoring here. Pre-Buttered Toast needing a 27-point game to pass into second place. Team Vienna needing a 17-point game to get into fourth. You're hearing both teams communicate as both are approaching that top 20, which is only a point for top 20 position. Both teams trying to move around the map here, trying to position themselves for a better ending, both knowing they need a certain amount of points here to come away with a higher placement than where they currently sit. These are the last two games of the night here, Proof. The team in the top left corner, Pre-Buttered Toast, needs a 27-point game here to come away with a second place finish. In the bottom right corner, we have Team Vienna, who needs a 17-point game to clinch fourth place. Both teams have had a win tonight. Both have had highs and both have had lows, but they both want to close out with a little more higher bragging rights here going into Ammo League. The Ammo League team draft will be held next Saturday and will feature most of the same competitors that we've seen in the past 2 weekends here. Opening day of the Ammo League will follow, and the announcement of those games are to be determined. going to update both of the scores or of the screens right now for you guys so you can see where all these teams lie. As the screen you're looking at now currently has the older points of Team Vienna, which we need to update quickly for you. Hear a lot of shots ringing out from both teams here. And there we are, shots ringing out in the top left, pre-buttered toast. Guys going down on the edge of the storm. They have a bounty off to their left. They can't seem to get there. 3 players down, 1 remaining. 1 getting revived. They're trying to get back down to each other so they can help each other out. And they all get dropped. Gulag still in store. We're going to try and quickly go over to that Gulag as our 1 screen here. And there it is. You have to carry us, they say. We're in the Gulag here, folks. We got to go and watch this one here. Hopefully, it turns out to be a good one. He moves to the right-hand side, peeking over to the left across the diamond here. A lot of guys sit on this right wall here. He moves up, trying to slide up, sees him, hits the shot, and he knocks him out. There he is. Return to play, return to sender. As we continue on with more action here, folks. The Gulag has been closed in this one, folks. As he drops on a loadout. Already getting shot. This is a bad move. This could turn off all hopes they have to win this one. Getting fired upon. And that'll do it. A 13th place finish. I don't think that'll do it, folks. 10 kills in a 14th place. That is good enough for 12 points. Not what they needed for that 2nd place finish, as Cove-19 holds on to 2nd place with 138 points. Pre-butter toast, not enough in the tank. And so we'll switch it on over to our last and final game of the night. Team Vienna fighting for 4th place here, needing 17. As they approach the top 15 here, 53 players remaining. What has gotten them held up most of the night is being unable to combine the two high kill games with high placement. They've had a few games getting up and above 15 plus kills, but haven't been able to put the placement points attached to it. And vice versa, having a couple high placement games that have been put into their point category, but not able to put on seem to have a very good position on the top of this roof, overlooking most of the city, a buy station off to their side, as well as a car, it looks like the blue car off to their side as well. So they can make a quick getaway. They can revive a player if need be. Not a lot of money within the team, but enough to revive a player. Now, while we're in a bit of a lull period here, I want to say thank you for tuning in to the Ammo Saturday Showdown, brought to you by the good folks at Ammo, your home for your competitive gaming leagues. This has been the 2nd edition of the Saturday Showdown. Last week, we had COVID-19 with 176 points and the win. This week, Rock Plus One walks away the victor with 198 points and our new solo game high of 55. That was a 30-kill game and a 25 points for the win. looking down the line here at the future, the Ammo League will be starting up with the draft next Saturday, holding a lot of the same players that you are seeing in this competition today. Each team will have their own mascot and logo, team colors, and a schedule where they will face off with a different team twice a week. They continue to look out into the distance, trying to play it a little bit safer, trying to play for that late game. A lot of teams taking this approach of having a late game circle, trying to get all their kills in that really confined space, where COVID-19 actually made a lot of their push having early kill games, landing at places that are a little bit higher or densely populated, and getting the kills in high quantities early. They ring out shots across at the other rooftop. A player on a bounty. Throwing off. Oh, don't want that. And that's one of the few things with controller players. They don't know that you can initiate that detonation with the square button without throwing it. You can throw it with your right trigger. A lot of players don't know that if you have two C4s. A UAV now, helping the team recognize where everyone is. 14 teams remaining. They're trying to reach a top 10 position here. More shots ringing out across. Emily gets dropped. She is the bounty. Why would you crawl? Now they're putting on some more shield here. And the last score from Team Send It gets in, and not a huge raise, but it might be enough as they get an extra couple points here, as they had a game with 10 kills and a 6th place finish. That gives them a 17. That 17-pointer knocks out their 14, giving them an extra 3 points, putting them at 97 on the night. And so they will need a 20-point game. A 20-point game here, folks, to put them in contention for 4th place. They got a team wipe. That's a huge one, folks. Another team wipe. They're showing out here, folks. This is the last game of the night. Top 4, folks. This could be it. This could be the one. Got a cluster strike out. Another double kill for Emily. Emily's going off right now with the LMG. Moving into the circle, up the mountaintop. Smaller circle. This will be the last circle before it shrinks to nothing. Cluster strike ringing out. Dropping shields for the rest of the team. Emily has 5 here. Cushy sees him. Cushy locks on with 1. He sees 1, but their other 2 were out on the other side of it. I hope they know that before they move in. Got to keep their eyes open to that west. Moving up to the top of the hill. This is going to be a tough spot as they have no cover. Emily gets another one with a long shot with the LMG ringing out. They're in the circle. They're in the storm. Another one for Emily. Emily's going off here, folks. And that's a win to finish off the night. And that'll push them into 2nd place. Or 4th place, excuse me. Wow. That's a 47. Wow. That is a night. And that is the end of it. Wow. That is how you go off with a bang. That's a 25-point win. Emily going off with the LMG in space. The Mighty Mo. A 1st place game here, folks. We're going to see where we stand after that one. That is a 47-point game. Their best of the tournament, and that'll secure them into 4th place. We're going to ring out these last scores here. And there we are, folks. Team Vienna 25, a 15, a 38, which was a win, and a 47 in the win. That brings their total to a 125 on the night, folks. And you can hear them discussing their past games. A lot of great performances, much better all in all from all the competitors here today. And that will bring us to our final. Oh, excuse me. Let me change that one more time here, folks, as we have a little bit of a technical error there. Let me put that back in there. And we'll add that to the score. And there we go, folks. A 125 for Team Vienna puts them in 4th place. But our victors, Ruck +1, the 3 brothers, Ruck and Glenn, with an amazing 198-point night. Definitely the high as our series continues, the Saturday Showdown. The highest of the competition, 198 points. The highest solo game, 55 points. That's a 30-kill game with a 25-point win. COVID-19 came up late in the competition here. Last week's winner started off slow this week, but came away with 138 points on the night. In 3rd place, Pre-Buttered Toast with 132 points in the third place finish. In fourth place, crawling back the last game winning to come away with that fourth place is Team Vienna. Emily, the only girl in this competition, using the mighty Mo LMG to ring out 9 kills in the last game of the night, passing Team Send It. Last week's Team Muffs, but Team Send It this week, 97 points. Just couldn't hold on and couldn't put together a big enough last game to give the spread. In sixth place, we have Team Muffs, the newest newest competitors to this competition, with 75 points. And in last place, Team Pup and Suds, 54 points. And that is their first entrance into this Saturday Showdown. Moving on, next Saturday will be the draft, as we will pick the teams that will compete in the Ammo League Series. That will be either a trio or quad team series here that will go on for about a month and will lead into playoffs and an eventual Ammo League champion. Again, I want to say thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Saturday Showdown, brought to you by Ammo Leagues, your home for competitive gaming leagues. I am Zeta Fly. You have yourselves a great night.